Hey, it's Berta J, and you're back in my kitchen with me today to make what Evan and I finally call Lazy Day granola. This recipe has been inspired by page 144 of the Forks Over Knives plan book. Okay, let's get started. First thing, you have to turn your oven on because it's made in the oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. With that done, measure out, which I've already done, 4 cups of whole grain rolled oats. You don't want to use the quick oats. You want to use the whole grain rolled oats. So that's been all measured. Set that aside. And into your blender, you're going to blenderize something, a bunch of ingredients, and this is what's going to go in. First, you're going to put in 1/3 cup of pure maple syrup and 1/3 cup of water. Take the 2/3 cup of mixture of water and maple syrup into the blender and scrape out, because maple syrup is thick and water is not. When you mix it up, it still kind of leaves some things, some remnants of sweet maple syrup at the bottom. So be sure to scrape it all out because you want to get as much sweetness as you can. Next thing, 1/4 cup of nut butter. Now you know, Berta J is a mixologist. I got this name from one of you guys, from a viewer of mine. And so I kind of like it. So I've mixed 3 different kinds of nut butters, but you just make sure you put in 1/4 cup of nut butter, your favorite, whatever it is. I used peanut butter, almond butter, and cashew butter, a little of each. I'll put the ingredients below in their measurements. Next, a teaspoon of pure vanilla. Next, 1/4 teaspoon of, I'm using sea salt. I usually use Himalayan salt, but just get some salt in there. 1/4 teaspoon is all you need. 10 scrapes of a nutmeg. Be sure to knock it up because there's still a lot on here. If you don't do that, it'll be stuck in here. So just knock it off. And then last but not least, 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now everything is in the blender and we're going to blenderize. That's it. About 10 to 12 seconds of blenderizing. And now all you have to do is pour it into these oats that you set aside. And then mix and mix and mix until you don't see any whole grain rolled oats that are sort of white. That's it right there. Put it on a cookie sheet, baking sheet that's been parchment-lined. When you put it on, you want to remember not to bunch it up in a pile like that and bake it. Okay, don't do that. Set that aside and then spread. Spread it right up to the corners. I find it's easier if I can fill in those corners first. Pushes the parchment paper down. You want a nice even layer, not little mountains, but a nice even layer. And after you've done that, we are ready to bake. It smells wonderful. Now it's placed into a 300 degree oven that you've had preheated, and it's going to cook for an hour. But the key to making this granola really crunchy and tasting good is that every 20 minutes you're going to go in with your spoon and you're going to stir it up. Flip it in from here, every corner, stir it up really well, and then stick it back in there for another 15-20 minutes. Keep doing that until your buzzer for a whole hour goes off. So 1 hour, but 20 minutes, each 20 minutes up until then, you'll be scraping or mixing. Okay? Into the oven. Okay, I'm taking it out of the oven. And if you want to see how it is, it's dry. What you need to do after the hour is done, turn your oven off and let it just set let the granola set in the oven until it's cooled off, or until it's just warm. It's not hot. And then you can take it out. And that's how it gets this crunchiness and little lumps. So be sure to do that. All right? Be sure to store it in a jar with a tight-fitting lid, or a container that has a tight-fitting top. It'll make more than a quart because I put some in here. So you'll have quite a few servings. If you eat about a half a cup is a good serving. Now, you can eat a half a cup of this by itself. Very crunchy. Very good. But you can also eat it as a cereal if you want to. What you do, put your half a cup of granola into a cup, put in a couple tablespoons of dried fruit, or 3 tablespoons, 1/4 of a cup if you want to. Raisins or currants, apricots or cranberries. You can even add seeds like hemp seeds. Flax seeds are better if they're ground, so you could put in a tablespoon of ground flaxseed and make it really, really high in fiber, okay? Over that, you can pour a cup of your plant milk, and you have got a very crunchy and delicious bowl of cereal that's been made by you. It's very tasty, okay? That's the end of the recipe, and I can assure you that it tastes good. Take one more little taste just so that you'll know. It is good. So, until next time, come on back to Berta J's Kitchen. But don't forget to subscribe. Click on the notification bell so that every time we upload a new video, you will get the notification. Until then, I want to see you back here every Tuesday. Bye for now.